G'day and welcome to the second part of our beginner's guide to caravanning.
This week we're going to be heading from Marysville to Mansfield before heading back to good old Melbourne.
And thanks to our partners, the Caravan Camping Industry Association Victoria, will be continuing to show you some professional tips and tricks about the wide and sometimes wild world of caravanning.
Don't you go anywhere, join us as we show you
What's up, Down Under? Get up, boy.
It's time to see this land of wonder. It's time to go and see what's up down under. What's up down under.
Last week's journey saw us start our adventure in Melbourne before heading to Healesville and then our current location of Marysville. This week, we'll see us trek further north to Mansfield for some more fun before finally heading back to Melbourne. But first, we have to soak up some creative charm in picturesque Marysville.
Located right in the heart of Marysville is the stunning Bruno's Art and Sculpture Garden. The artworks of local sculptor and painter Bruno Torfs are presented on display amongst the amazing natural beauty of the surrounding forest area. One of my favourite places in the world is Bruno's Art and Sculpture Gallery, and one of my favourite people, Bruno. So good to see you again.
Yeah, Angie, that's so much fun you came along again. So,
oh, look, I think it's the sort of place you could come every week and just feel enchanted every time by what you do here.
It is. We're here every day, so we can't get enough of it.
And do you maintain it all yourself?
Well, I have my lovely wife, Wi-Fi coach, Christina.
Wi-Fi?
Because she's always helped me in everything, and we can handle both together doing. It's a big place, but we love doing ourselves. Yeah.
Well, you're certainly doing a magnificent job. But how long would it take you to create one of these magnificent pieces?
That's a tricky question. I don't care about time. It's more being there in the moment. And sometimes I just work for an hour or two and go do garden, people there, some groups arriving, and get back to it when I feel. Maybe altogether a week, 10 days to finish from start to end.
But what I love about your work is that when you look into the faces of these sculptures, there's so much emotion in them. Where does that come from for you?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's all about giving the life quality with the clay, and it's so exciting for me when I get that. Wow, they're looking at me. They got some life quality, as I said.
After taking in the spectacular creativity of Bruno's Art and Sculpture Garden, it was time to hit the road. But before that, we have a few little tricks to show you.
Now, you can't always rely on your memory to prepare properly for your next holiday. So what I do is write a few checklists. This way I know exactly what I need to do or get, making sure that I'm going to have a great holiday. Before you leave home, it is a good idea to fill up your water tank in your caravan. This will add around 80 kilos to your load, but it means you won't get caught out if you find yourself in a place without access to clean water. On the other end of the scale, when you get home after your trip and you've packed your van away, remember to empty any remaining water in your tanks. It can be a bit fiddly accessing the tank to empty it, but you may not be travelling for some time, and that water will surely be less than fresh by the time you hit the road again. Permanently keeping a kit of spare tape, batteries and fuses is endlessly helpful. And always have a spare tyre on standby, because there is nothing worse than a flat or a puncture that can't be fixed. If you want to know a little bit more about this tip or trick, why don't you visit gomakesomememories.com.au.
Now that you're all tipped up, it's time for us to hit the road in search of our next location.
We're en route for the final destination of our trip, the beautiful regional town of Mansfield, where we're sure to be in for a few treats.
Planning an affordable holiday for your family is easy. For more great ideas like the ones seen on today's show, just log on to gomakesomememories.com.au. After the break, we hit up the iconic Mansfield Zoo and give you some more professional tips and tricks.
What's up down
Hi, I'm Daniel from the Caravan Association. On our previous episode, we talked about the ball weights and connecting your car to your caravan. Today, what we want to talk about is hitching up the key components and actually coupling on and ready to go. Now what we want to talk about is your key items to hitching up and heading out on your travels or coming back from your holiday. So some of our key items that we want to talk about today is obviously our breakaway. So this is a key item. So what we do is we connect this onto the car. That is a key because if it comes disconnected from your coupling here, from when you're travelling around, it engages the brakes, making sure that it doesn't go flying off. What we then also make sure we do is to take off our handbrake. What we then do is make sure our coupling, this obviously connects onto the car, is in the off position. And we wind down our jockey wheel to make sure it's on the ball. Once the weight is onto the car, the jockey wheel will lift off. Then we ensure that we're now in the lock position, so we're travelling around, the ball's nice and tight. So we've got our trailer plug that we connect on into the car. That engages all your lighting, to make sure your tail lights, stop lights, all in that work. Now what we can do is we take off our jockey wheel. So it's got the bracket here. Undo that. Store that in a safe location like in your boot or your tunnel boots. Then the last thing is a key industry technique is with your safety chain. So we obviously connect them onto our shackles on their car. But one of the key items is to make sure that they're crossed. If you have them in a straight line, what they're going to do is pull one at a time. But what we want to do is make sure that we've got both crossed over so that if it comes disconnected, it'll pull both at the same time. If you want to get some more tips about travelling, head to gomakesomemories.com.au.
Just over an hour's drive up the road from Marysville is the scenic Victorian town of Mansfield.
And just outside of town, you will find the charming Mansfield Caravan Park, where we decided to set up site. If there's a picture in the dictionary for Australian holiday park, this would be it, wouldn't it, Matt?
I reckon it would be, yep. Yeah, well, look, we're a good family park, I reckon. Anyway, we've got, just in the dam behind us, there's redfin there, so, you know, Easter there'll be a lot of kids sitting around there having a bit of a fish, just catching their first fish. We've got an adventure playground there for the bigger kids. You've got the swimming pool, mini golf just over behind us, so there's plenty of activities for the kids while they're here.
But the view as well, if you're sitting out on the deck, just taking in the landscape's pretty special as well.
It's nice, it's a nice view. We're looking over the showgrounds and over the mountains. Yeah, I think it's pretty scenic, yeah.
What else can you do around here?
Well, look, there's quite a few good things to do around here, but I'll tell you what, it's worth checking out is probably the zoo out on the Jamison Road. There's a lot of people come up here and take the kids out to have a look at the zoo there. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because I reckon we're going to head out there and see that next.
I reckon it'll be well worthwhile.
Beautiful.
Good on you, mate. Nice to meet you.
You too, mate.
Yeah.
Just a stone's throw from Mansfield's town centre is the Mansfield Zoo, one of regional Victoria's best kept secrets, where we were welcomed by Dave.
Dave, this is a pretty unique spot you've got here. What do you think it is that sets it apart from other zoos?
Well, the main thing is the interactive part. People can come here and feed quite a few of the animals because the interaction between animals has been lost over the years, and we have a lot visit just because they can interact with the animals.
So you've got a lot of animals here, Dave. What have you got exactly?
Well, the white lions are the highlight.
Oh.
They're the only white lions in Victoria at this stage. I look after the lions. I get in with the alligator and talk to him and pat him, and he's not too bad. Alligators aren't that aggressive if you don't stir them up.
Hey, well, all this talk about animals and stuff, can we get in amongst it and have a little look?
You certainly can.
Day in the life of?
Righto, let's do this.
Hello, mate. God, yes. Yeah.
Just cheapers. Now our heart's racing and anxiety creates more anxiety. Oh, come on, get in. Come on. Yes, I did it. I did it, yeah. Sit, get in there, yeah. Get it in here. No, you are kidding yourself. There it is.
He didn't like being licked by a lion.
Using him. You are. I am. Okay. I tried.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, wow. You are incredible. Oh my goodness.
No.
This is incredible.
Now over to our very own king of the jungle, Macca, with this week's On Display. Take it away, mate.
At Roadstar Caravans, they're all about crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Now, I reckon that if you manufacture anything with that mindset, you are bound to end up with something pretty amazing. Let's go and check one out. The Voyager is an off-road model, so it stands to reason that they would start at the front here with a DO35 hitch. Without a doubt, the most popular off-road hitch on the market today. Behind that, we've got a stone guard, and it's there to protect the caravan, but it's also there to stop the rocks from breaking the back window of your car, which is very nice indeed. Behind that, we've got a couple of 9-kilo gas bottles, and that'll keep everything running both hot and cold for you while you're out on the road. It's all about outdoor living, and Roadstar have cracked it with a Dometic roll-out awning and a slide-out barbecue. And the outdoor area is completed with the entertainment system and plenty of storage for anything else you might want to take with you. Speaking of storage, Marg?
Yes, Macca. Inside we have beautiful cabinets in all different colours, beautifully sleek and modern. Heaps of storage, more cupboards than I've seen in most vans. And we've also got a full-size fridge and a separate freezer from Dometic, so we get plenty of storage there too.
Across the back here, pretty straightforward. We've got a couple of jerry can holders, a spare wheel of course, and a reversing camera. Nice touch. Behind this composite panel is an aluminium frame, and all the sealants, which are exclusive to Roadstar, have a 10-year bonding guarantee. Now, if you want any more information, just go online at roadstar.com.au.
Planning an affordable holiday for your family is easy. For more great ideas like the ones seen on today's show, just log on to gomakesomememories.com.au.
Coming up after the break, we review the gorgeous town of Mansfield and check out a regional winery to taste some local produce.
What's up, Downunder?
Our friends at Jayco want to give you the chance to win your own piece of freedom with the Jayco Hawk Outback Camper Trailer. That's right, it's another competition. This bad boy behind me is worth over $26,000 and it can be yours. There's 10 runner-up prizes from our mates at Discovery Holiday Parks as well, and you can enter every day. If you want to enter the Let's Go Jayco competition, go to whatsupdownunder.com.au. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go Jayco!
Roughly 2.5 hours drive from Melbourne, Mansfield was established in 1851 and flourished during the Victorian Gold Rush era. These days, Mansfield is a gateway town to mountains of the region during snow season and a great place to kick back and relax in the summer months. Apart from the charming natural surroundings, attractions include Mansfield Zoo and our next location, the Delatite Winery.
Now, it just wouldn't be right to leave Mansfield without sampling some of the stunning local produce that the region has to offer.
So we decided to check out what was on the grapevine at Delatite Winery.
Well, a winery on top of a hill. Doesn't get much more romantic than this. It's been in the family for a while, hasn't it, mate?
Yeah, it has. It's been, my parents started the vines back in 1968 and then the winery went in 1982. And we've been here ever since.
What am I drinking here? This is a Riesling, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the 2014 Riesling, which is one of our signature wines, along with Gewurz and Pinot Gris.
It's the experience that people can have when they come here. They come and taste the wine, but there's a fair bit on offer, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Well, we've got a labyrinth which you can walk, which we can see behind us, which we sort of opened up late last year, and a bit of a spiritual journey around the labyrinth, which can be a bit of fun. And there we have platters, pizzas, and the menu sort of changes depending on whether it's winter or summer. Walk around the vineyard. We have events here, sort of wine dinners and music sometimes. We're open 7 days a week except for Good Friday and half of Anzac Day.
The rumour has it that the boys are at the back working the vats and making sure everything's up to scratch. Can we go have a look?
For sure, Terry. Let's go.
Yes, indeed.
Right. Lift it too high.
Create the vortex. Yeah, we like doing everything by hand. It's all sustainable, you know. So, and I think that flows through into the wines.
Fascinating stuff, isn't it?
We think.
Well, it tastes like it does.
You can't rush quality.
Now, whilst Terry and Angie were doing it old school, off the grid in the wine regions of Victoria, I was looking at the future of communications whilst caravanning and what's possible these days due to some clever thingamajigs. One of the things I love about coming to caravan and camping shows is finding all the new innovative products. Now, I've wandered past here, seen this little box beside me, and clearly I'm not a guy that embraces technology to a high level, so I'm going to ask Rob from Razor RV, what is this box, mate? What's it do?
It's different, isn't it? Well, first of all, good morning, mate. It's nice to see you. We've launched the RV Wi-Fi, probably the first time this has ever happened. You can now have RV Wi-Fi in your motorhome, in your car, in your fifth wheeler, wherever you want to have it, mate. You can have Wi-Fi all over Australia. It's fantastic.
How's it work?
Well, basically what it is, you've got your router, sits inside the motorhome or your caravan, you've got your 4G dongle, and it's prepaid. So when you're not using it, you're not paying for it, mate. It works up to 55 metres around your motorhome. So when you're stationary, you can round have a barbecue with all your mates. And also, I think one of the biggest selling points for this product, and I actually have two young boys, is when we're driving to our next destination, the RV Wi-Fi works in the car, so the kids are happy.
Rob, keep up the good work, mate. Amazing stuff.
Beauty. Thanks, mate.
After the break, we head back to Melbourne and give you some handy tricks and tips on how to pack your caravan away.
What's up, down under?
G'day, Macca here. Just wanted to let you know that this episode has been brought to you by our partners, the Caravan Industry Association Victoria, helping you go make some memories.
The Dometic Follow the Sun competition is back. Here's your chance to cruise in comfort on a 3-month, all expenses road trip as the Dometic Follow the Sun campaign kicks off again. Explore Australia as a Dometic ambassador in your own recreational vehicle and receive up to a $25,000 Dometic vehicle makeover. And if you don't own an RV, enter today to win a 3-month trip in the National Breast Cancer Foundation caravan, the Pink Mini. Enter now on dometicfollowthesun.com.au for your chance to win, and we might just see you at happy hour.
You'll find everything you need for a great Aussie holiday at the Queensland Caravan Camping and Touring Super Show at the Brisbane Showgrounds. From the 8th to the 13th of June, hundreds of exhibitors and brand name products all at one location. Find out more by logging on to caravanqld.com.au.
Well, it was time for our Yarra Valley adventure to come to an end, so we got back on the road and headed home to Melbourne. But before we could settle down and reminisce about our travels, we still had a few loose ends we had to tie up. We needed to make sure that we were storing our caravan in the best possible way to make sure it was fighting fit and ready to go the next time we hit the road.
I'm here with Jo from Advantage Caravan Repairs. She's going to give us some tips on how to store our caravan to make sure it stays in tip-top condition. Now, Jo, I've just come back from a big journey. What are the first things I should think about?
Well, some of the things that you need to think about when you're getting home from your trip is how do you store your caravan? And the best storage solution for a caravan ultimately is a garage, if that's at all possible. Undercover is your next best option, so a carport would also be something that you could consider. If you don't have access to an undercover area, then you could also look at using a caravan cover.
Okay, so we've got the outside covered. When we go inside, what sort of things should we be thinking about there?
If you've just come home from a trip, some of the things that you need to think about is cleaning the van out so that it stays in tip-top condition. Things like making sure that your fridge is empty and dry so that it doesn't, I guess, attract any mould. Obviously, some other things that you might like to think about is keeping your windows closed and making sure that if you've got a pop-top caravan, the roof is down properly as well, just to keep it free from dust, you know, things like mice, ants, things along those lines.
I have heard it's a good idea not to completely rely on the brake, the handbrake, and to chock up the wheels. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, most definitely, especially if you're parking your caravan on an angle. You obviously don't want it to be rolling down your driveway. So I guess it's important to also mention that servicing your caravan at regular intervals is also a really important thing. A caravan that you've just purchased, if it's brand new, should be serviced at the first 1,000 Ks. But if you're really getting into caravanning, it's important to be aware that it does need to be serviced every 10,000 kilometres.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, Jo. I think I'm in safe hands.
Well, that's all we have time for this week.
We really hope you've enjoyed our beginner's guide to caravanning. Make sure you stay tuned next time as we show you
What's up down under. See you, mate. Come on.
What's up down under?